15 Hollywood actresses of the 1970s, whose beautiful legs drove everyone crazy. They were the untouchable goddesses who reigned over the bedroom posters of an entire generation. Their radiant smiles, flawless silhouettes, and effortless cinematic magic defined the absolute standard of beauty for the decade. But physical perfection is a heavy burden to carry. Behind the velvet curtains, these defining faces of an era fought brutal battles against the machinery of fame just to be respected as true artists. Relentless studio exploitation and quiet personal tragedies were deeply buried beneath their flawless public images. Welcome to Timeless Hollywood Faces. Subscribe now, because behind the brightest Hollywood halos lie the darkest shadows the industry never wanted you to see. Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett redefined the entire concept of American beauty. Her legendary 1976 red swimsuit poster with that radiant smile and flawless silhouette became an unprecedented cultural phenomenon that dominated the screen and captivated a generation. But the poster became a cage. She found herself trapped within the image of a naive angel. Hollywood completely refused to acknowledge her genuine acting talent until she forced them to watch her break through in gritty and deeply painful roles like The Burning Bed. When the entire world only stares at your outer perfection, how do you force them to listen to the voice screaming inside you? Her breathtaking beauty was a gift, but also a lifelong sentence. She spent the rest of her days proving to a superficial industry that a global sex symbol also possesses a soul that knows how to bleed. Raquel Welch. Raquel Welch was the ultimate and untouchable cinematic magic of her era. Her effortless screen presence and striking figure in 1,000,000 years BC instantly cemented her as the defining face of glamour for the late 60s and 70s. However, the studios treated her more like an exotic ornament than a breathing artist. Behind closed doors, she fought bitter legal battles against the very machinery of fame that created her, desperately trying to escape the stifling velvet curtains of constant objectification. Would you risk tearing down your own glittering empire just to demand the basic respect you deserve as a human being? The brutal rhythm of Hollywood demands submission, but she refused to bow. Her legacy is not just a collection of stunning photographs, but a fierce warning about what happens when an industry tries to own a woman instead of empowering her. Lynda Carter. Lynda Carter brought a comic book goddess to life and became an unforgettable television icon. Her towering presence and radiant confidence as the original Wonder Woman set an impossible standard of perfection that defined the decade. But somewhere along the way, the heavy cape of perfection took its toll. The immense pressure to maintain that flawless superhero facade masked a quiet and desperate battle with alcoholism. She suffered in the shadows, using spirits to numb the overwhelming anxiety hiding behind her television smile. Can a symbol of ultimate strength find the courage to admit their own crushing vulnerabilities when the whole world is watching? True heroism is rarely found in defeating fictional villains. Her most triumphant victory was conquering her inner demons, proving that surviving the crushing expectations of pop culture requires a strength far greater than any television superpower. Bo Derek. Bo Derek transformed a simple run on the beach into a moment of pure cinematic magic. Her appearance in the movie 10 established her as the absolute, untouchable standard of desire and the perfect fantasy of a generation. Then the illusion of perfection became a psychological prison. She existed under the intense and controlling direction of her husband, John Derek, losing her independent voice while the world only celebrated her physical form. The machinery of fame reduced her complex identity to a mere numerical score. How does it feel to be universally adored as a masterpiece while simultaneously feeling invisible in your own life? Beauty without autonomy is just another form of captivity. Her journey reminds us that the brightest Hollywood halos often blind the audience to the quiet suffocation happening right in front of the camera lenses. Ann-Margret. Ann-Margret exploded onto the screen with a kinetic energy that redefined entertainment. Her phenomenal dancing and dynamic stage presence made her a box office favorite, earning her the title of the female Elvis and captivating millions. But the physical demands of her explosive performances almost cost her everything. A horrific stage accident threatened to permanently steal her mobility, forcing her into a grueling and agonizing rehabilitation. She had to fight relentlessly to reclaim her legs and her place in the spotlight. Would you have the sheer willpower to rebuild your shattered body when the industry is already looking for your replacement? The glittering stages of Las Vegas and Hollywood are built on broken bones and silent tears. Her triumphant return was not just a career revival, but a profound testament to the unyielding human spirit refusing to be discarded by the machinery of fame. Catherine Bach. Catherine Bach created a television phenomenon that permanently altered the landscape of pop culture. Her iconic denim shorts in The Dukes of Hazzard transformed her into the ultimate Southern fantasy and captivated millions of viewers every single week. But that massive success carried a devastating cost. The very costume that made her an unforgettable superstar also completely overshadowed her immense abilities as a dramatic actress. Studio executives refused to see past her physical appearance, permanently trapping her inside the fictional borders of Hazzard County while denying her the opportunity to creatively evolve. Can you imagine the profound frustration of having your entire professional legacy defined by a single piece of clothing? Her story is a harsh reminder of how easily the entertainment industry reduces a multifaceted talent into a single digestible image. She became a prisoner of her own legendary success, forever fighting to be recognized as a woman rather than just a wardrobe. Jaclyn Smith. Jaclyn Smith was the definition of elegant perfection and the enduring soul of Charlie's Angels. As the only original angel to remain throughout the entire series, her sophisticated beauty and graceful presence made her a beloved household name across the globe. Then the relentless grind of television production began extracting its heavy toll. The exhausting schedules and the immense pressure to maintain an immaculate public image masked the physical and emotional drain happening quietly behind the scenes. Years later, her private and terrifying battle with breast cancer shattered the illusion of invincibility surrounding these untouchable television goddesses. How do you maintain a radiant smile for millions when your own body is silently fighting a desperate war for survival? Her ultimate triumph over illness revealed a profound truth about the nature of celebrity. The flawless silhouettes we adored on our screens were always fragile human beings, and her true strength was never found in her glamorous appearance but in her quiet resilience. Cheryl Ladd. Cheryl Ladd stepped into the most intensely scrutinized spotlight in television history. When she joined Charlie's Angels to replace an absolute cultural phenomenon, her radiant smile and undeniable charm quickly won over a hesitant and critical nation. However, stepping into those iconic shoes felt much more like walking into a psychological battlefield. She endured brutal comparisons, relentless media scrutiny, and agonizing self-doubt as the industry continuously questioned whether she was attractive enough to fill the massive void. The machinery of fame demanded perfection while constantly whispering that she would never be quite as magnificent as the predecessor she was hired to replace. Would you have the mental fortitude to perform flawlessly while the entire world is seemingly waiting for you to fail? Navigating that toxic environment required a spirit forged in pure steel. Her ability to survive and carve out her own lasting legacy is a brilliant testament to the endurance required to thrive in a system designed to break your confidence. Suzanne Somers. Suzanne Somers captured the heart of America with her flawless comedic timing and quintessential blonde beauty. Her beloved role in Three's Company turned her into an absolute television sensation and the untouchable darling of late-night audiences. But the beautiful illusion of a happy Hollywood family shattered the moment she simply asked for what she was worth. For daring to demand a salary equal to her male co-stars, studio executives ruthlessly fired her and launched a coordinated campaign to completely destroy her reputation. She was publicly humiliated, blacklisted, and temporarily reduced to a punchline for selling fitness equipment. How does it feel to be so easily discarded by the very people getting rich off your talent just because you demanded basic fairness? Her magnificent revenge was building a massive financial empire out of the very products they mocked her for. Her journey stands as a powerful indictment of industry sexism and a glorious victory for every woman who refused to be silenced by the men in power. Linda Gray. Linda Gray possessed the most famous legs in cinematic history without anyone ever knowing her beautiful face. The legendary promotional poster for The Graduate featured her striking silhouette, instantly becoming one of the most recognizable and seductive images of the entire era. But Hollywood is an absolute master of illusion and silent exploitation. While her body helped sell millions of theater tickets and defined a generation of desire, she was paid a miserable wage and remained entirely uncredited by the studios. The machinery of fame gladly consumed pieces of her identity for profit, leaving her completely invisible in the shadows until she aggressively fought her way back to the screen as Sue Ellen in Dallas. Would you trade a physical piece of your identity just to touch the outer edges of stardom? The fame machine is always willing to carve a woman into pieces for mass consumption. Her eventual rise to global superstardom was a poetic retribution against a ruthless industry that initially saw her as nothing more than an anonymous promotional tool. We have just traveled through some of the most beautiful and tragic stories hiding behind the radiant glamour of the 70s. Looking back at these iconic faces you grew up admiring, is there a particular star whose hidden struggles truly break your heart today? Please share your deeply personal memories and thoughts with us in the comments section below. And if you appreciate uncovering these buried historical truths, remember to subscribe so you never miss our next journey into the untold shadows of Hollywood. Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda defined the limitless boundaries of physical perfection across multiple decades. From her mesmerizing intergalactic presence in Barbarella to her absolute dominance as a fitness pioneer, her toned physique transformed into a national obsession. But beneath that vibrant and athletic exterior lived a completely different reality. She spent decades waging a terrifying internal war against severe eating disorders, driven by an industry that demanded absolute flawlessness at any cost. The relentless pressure to maintain her own iconic image nearly consumed her from the inside out. How long could you force your own body to suffer in silence just to maintain an impossible standard for the rest of the world? The pursuit of physical perfection is often just an elegant form of torture. Her eventual transparency about her struggles broke the dangerous illusion she helped create, proving that authentic self-acceptance is far more revolutionary than any fitness routine. Pam Grier. Pam Grier was the undisputed queen of fiercely empowered action cinema in the 70s. Her magnificent on-screen presence in films like Coffy and Foxy Brown established her as a gorgeous and unstoppable force of nature who completely commanded every single frame. Then the studios decided to trap her within the narrow confines of cheap exploitation cinema. She found herself locked in violently sensationalized roles that rarely respected her true dramatic depth. Furthermore, just as she fought to redefine her career, a devastating cancer diagnosis threatened to take her life entirely, giving her only a massive battle for survival. Where do you find the strength to battle a deadly disease when the entertainment world has already tried to discard you as a passing trend? Real power is never about holding a weapon on a movie set. Her miraculous survival and artistic resurrection demonstrated an unbreakable spirit, exposing the immense tragedy of a studio system that failed to recognize the actual titan standing right in front of them. Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn illuminated the cinematic landscape with an infectious laugh and an absolutely radiant comedic brilliance. Her magnetic charm on Laugh In and her stellar performances in 70s classics made her an unparalleled box office favorite. However, Hollywood is notoriously eager to mistake a joyful woman for a foolish one. Executives constantly tried to diminish her brilliant creative mind, lazily labeling her as just another attractive but clueless blonde. She was forced to navigate a notoriously toxic and male-driven environment that constantly undermined her authority and artistic vision. Would you possess the sheer audacity to build your own empire while surrounded by powerful men who desperately want you to remain a simple punchline? A bright smile is often the greatest armor against a fiercely misogynistic industry. By eventually producing her own successful films, she brilliantly dismantled the oppressive stereotypes, proving that true genius often hides behind the very joy the system tries to exploit. Jacqueline Bisset. Jacqueline Bisset completely enchanted international audiences with her breathtaking elegance and deeply sensual glamour. Her unforgettable appearance in The Deep quickly became a defining visual moment of the decade, generating massive profits for the studios. But that legendary wet t-shirt sequence became a source of profound artistic betrayal. The aggressive marketing campaign deliberately capitalized on her physical form while completely ignoring her acting abilities. She felt entirely manipulated by producers who gladly sacrificed her dignity and dramatic credibility just to sell more movie tickets. How violated would you feel if your immense professional dedication was entirely erased by a single provocative image engineered for mass consumption? The relentless greed of Hollywood knows absolutely no boundaries. Her enduring frustration is a tragic reminder that even the most talented women often have to fight desperately just to prevent their artistry from being swallowed alive by their own physical beauty. Cybill Shepherd. Cybill Shepherd was the absolute embodiment of classic American blonde perfection. Her supremely confident and icy allure in The Last Picture Show turned her into a national obsession and a highly sought-after cinematic muse almost overnight. Then the inevitable backlash arrived with a vicious intensity. When a woman is perceived as too beautiful and too confident, the machinery of fame instinctively seeks to punish her. She endured brutal public criticism, highly publicized cinematic failures, and a humiliating period of professional exile where the industry collectively turned its back on her. Why does society elevate beautiful icons to the highest pedestals only to find a cruel joy in actively tearing them down? The brutal rhythm of Hollywood guarantees that the brightest halos eventually cast the darkest shadows. Her refusal to remain defeated and her eventual triumphant television return prove that a resilient soul will always outlast the fleeting judgments of a superficial era. The 70s are long gone. The glittering posters that once adorned bedroom walls have faded with the passing decades. But the true legacy of these magnificent women is not found in their flawless silhouettes or their provocative cinematic gazes. It resides in the silent scars they carefully hid from the cameras. It is found in their profound resilience when facing a mechanical industry specifically designed to crush human dignity. They were never just beautiful illusions created to entertain the masses. They were genuine survivors navigating the deeply treacherous golden era of cinema. Physical beauty is destined to wither, but the raw courage required to remain true to oneself in the face of absolute exploitation will always endure. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to our channel for our next journey into the untold stories of Hollywood.